I see Kundalini as a process which accelerates our journey towards connecting with the divine. It returns us to our true nature, the person we were always meant to be, before social conditioning kicked in, before we were taught how to behave, what to believe, and how to be in this world. And our need for belonging is real, so particularly as children, being able to fit in and belong is what our survival is based in, so that takes precedence before the need to express ourselves from our true nature. Belonging is the same as being safe. It's a survival mechanism. Even religions teach us how to behave. They're based on rules, they're based on a set of beliefs, and they're based on human teachings. So I can speak from my experience as a Christian. If you know anything about churches, there's lots and lots of different denominations. They all have different beliefs. They have different traditions. There are some common themes, but there's also some beliefs which are quite different. If you would compare, for example, a charismatic church with a Baptist church, they're quite different. And then there's many, many variations. And if you would look across the world, you'll find that different cultures approach Christianity in different ways as well. The Catholic Church is very different from other denominations. There's beliefs around how to decorate the building. Some churches use incense, some don't. Some use ritual, some don't. There's many, many differences that you could see across denominations, even within the same country, let alone across the globe. So to me, this illustrates the idea that religion is based on rules, on human teachings, and on the need to belong, rather than connecting with the divine. In fact, some churches teach that you go through a priest, for example, to connect with God, rather than finding a personal connection with God. There's a hierarchical structure which teaches you that only certain people can connect with God. So the irony is that when we focus on belonging to a religion, on belonging to a group, on pleasing the people around us, it actually takes away from our connection from the divine. And the very practices we are doing in order to become more spiritual or maybe more religious actually enhance that disconnect and stop us from connecting directly with God. My greatest understanding is from the Christian faith, as that's what I was brought up in and that's what I practiced for many years. But I believe the same thing could apply to other religions too. So what does this have to do with Kundalini? Kundalini is a process which brings many things to the surface. It brings up our foundational beliefs. It makes us question what we've believed and see that a belief is actually different from fact. And in fact, you can change your beliefs. You could one day believe in the Bible and the next day you could believe in a different book with different teachings. It's interchangeable. Say if you were born in a different country from the one that you were born into, it might be that you have a completely different set of beliefs. In fact, that is extremely likely. Kundalini undoes social conditioning, so it makes us challenge all the ways that we have been conditioned, what we've been taught, the educational system, our family beliefs, our culture, our nationality, politics, everything you can think of that we have been conditioned to believe. The Kundalini process brings that up for reevaluation in order to find the truth. And when that happens to you, and when you can approach life from this point of view, you can really see clearly that nothing is really set in stone, that things are just based on beliefs and based on human teachings. Kundalini brings unprocessed trauma to the surface, so it makes you confront things which you have been suppressing for many years. So things that happen in childhood, which you try not to think about, ways which you've been treated because of your nationality, your race, your ethnicity, your gender, all those things come up in order to be faced so that we can really see the truth of who we are and of what society teaches us and how the world really is. And that shows us how different the world is from the ideal. The Garden of Eden, I suppose, which would be the ideal place, which, according to Christian belief, is where we came from, where we originated from, and where the separation with God started after Adam and Eve took the apple and ate it. Of course, Kundalini comes with traps sometimes. There's many ego traps. There's a possibility that if you have a Kundalini awakening, or if you feel you're connecting with the divine in a special way, that you start to feel special. But this is an ego identification. This is something that comes from the human nature, not a pure connection with the divine. And Kundalini brings up all our character traits, whether they are learned behaviors, whether they're natural behaviors, whether they're things that we've shut out, all our emotions related to that, repressed emotions, everything comes to the surface for reevaluation and for integration. And it's this integration which is really key to becoming whole and to reconnecting with the divine. Because when we shut things out, when we pretend we're something we're not, or when things that we are shut out and we pretend that there's nothing to do with us, all of that is baggage which prevents us from being who we truly are, our true nature, which is our connection with the divine, with God. So when we can switch our focus from belonging, from the need to belong, to connecting with the divine, it enables us to embrace this journey in all its messiness, in all its difficulty, in all its pain, as a process which is bringing us closer to God, bringing us closer to our divine nature, to who we truly were meant to be, and our gifts and what we have to give the world. It gives us a sense of service, it gives us purpose, and brings us compassion for other people going through this journey and other people in general. And it enables us to find our place in the world and to live from that place, which is where true happiness and contentment is to be found. So this is something I'm really passionate about. I love to talk about healing and connecting with the divine. I love to talk about strengthening our connection to the divine and practices that we can do to achieve that. If this resonates with you, please like and subscribe. It would be great to have you join the community.